accurate, reliable, getting the facts right. News 5 in high definition starts right now.
5:30. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to News 5 WCYB Today. I'm Preston Ayers with meteorologist David Boyd here on your Tuesday morning. A dry start out there, cool and comfortable, and sounds like, David, another nice spring day ahead of us.
Not too bad. We're going to see a couple of pop-up thunder showers, but the coverage of the rain looking less than yesterday. Outside now, some of us in the 40s, 48 in Jonesville, and 43 in Mountain City, around 50 to 55 in the Tri-Cities, 54 in Elizabethton at this hour, so not too bad. Most areas dry, a couple of stray showers, a very light shower near Galax, Virginia. That's about it. Looking ahead on the future radar, maybe a stray shower around Wytheville at 7 o'clock this morning, but most areas dry all the way into the early afternoon. In fact, most areas dry all day, but a 40% chance of some of these hit or miss pop-up thunder showers. Best chance of rain today across the higher elevations. Around 76 for a high this afternoon, so very pleasant. Light breeze out of the south for today. But coming up in a few minutes, we're going to look ahead to our next weather maker on Thursday that could bring a few strong storms to the area.
Yeah, definitely going to watch for that and see how that could play out for the end of the week there. Well, the Big Island in Hawaii still under a state of emergency as a volcano continues to spew hot lava across parts of that area. Since it began erupting on Thursday, it has opened up at least a dozen fissures and released toxic gas into the atmosphere. Nearly 2,000 people living in the path of the lava have been forced to leave their homes. 26 buildings destroyed, many of those homes. Dan Shinneman has a look at the devastation.
On the Big Island of Hawaii, Mount Kilauea has not rested. The volcano has spewed a slow-moving, fiery flood of lava through cracks in the earth.
We're at 12 fissures. A couple have formed today.
Molten rock has overwhelmed neighborhoods. More than 24 structures have been destroyed.
The guy next door to me, there was lava covering his whole house. And the guy across the street, gone.
Some 1,800 people forced to leave their homes. Evacuees heartbroken and helpless.
It's so sad. It's just so sad.
The volcano has triggered more than 1,000 earthquakes, tossed lava hundreds of feet into the air, and coughed up toxic gas. Kilauea is among the world's most active volcanoes, but this latest activity has caught even longtime residents by surprise.
One night it was fine, there was little cracks in the pavement, and the next morning, boom. No one had any warning.
No warning, and experts say no end in sight. Dan Shinneman, NBC News.
5:32 now to the latest on a story we've been hearing a lot about over the last several weeks. The White House set to announce decisions with major national security implications today. President Trump will say if the U.S. will remain in the Iran nuclear deal. For the latest on this development, here's John Lawrence.
President Trump has reportedly made up his mind on the Iran deal. An announcement is scheduled for Tuesday afternoon.
History has shown that the longer we ignore a threat, the more dangerous that threat becomes.
The president was considering whether to continue waiving sanctions on Iran's energy and banking sectors. In exchange, Iran slowed its nuclear program. Mr. Trump and his supporters, and also Israel, have been widely critical of the deal.
What do you think is going to happen to that agreement? That nuclear agreement?
But others think pulling out of the accord could lead to future problems.
I think it's going to drive a wedge between us and our allies, and it's only going to accelerate the possibility of Iran getting a nuclear weapon.
The International Atomic Energy Agency says Iran is in compliance with the deal, and a number of allies, including Germany and France, have tried to convince President Trump to stay on board. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif mocked President Trump for his stance on the matter, saying in a tweet, "President Trump is jumping on a rehash of old allegations already dealt with by the IAEA to nix the deal. How convenient." Iranian officials also say they will not renegotiate the deal that's currently in place. John Lawrence, News 5 WCYB.
Of the U.S. leaving that deal. While some say the exit would result in minimal impact, others say it could lead to an arms race in the Middle East. We'll let you know what that decision is as the day progresses here. Sullivan County Sheriff's Office investigating a deadly motorcycle crash. Here's what we know about that incident. Deputies tell us it happened on Catawba Lane in Bluntville about 4:30 yesterday afternoon. The driver riding a motorcycle on the road there veered off the side and hit a fence. Detectives say that speed is believed to be a factor. The victim's name has not been released. Virginia State Police releasing more information on the cause of a tanker crash that we told you about yesterday morning here on News 5 today. This was on Route 23 there just outside of Gate City. They say the driver fell asleep at the wheel, now charged with reckless driving. The road closed for a couple hours there as hazmat crews were cleaning up the nearly 4,000 gallons of fuel that leaked out of that truck. No one was injured when that happened. A Russell County grand jury returning an indictment for a number of charges in a deadly crash last fall. Otis Boone Luther is charged with an November 2017 crash that killed 18-year-old Brittany Swan of Coburn. The crash happened in Fincastle Road in the town of Lebanon. A grand jury indicted him on charges of felony homicide, aggravated involuntary manslaughter, and felony DUI, among several other charges.
The vehicle just ran off the road, crashed straight into a tree. No indications from reconstruction or anything that there was ever any braking, just struck the tree at full force.
Now, this isn't his first run-in with the law. He's currently facing a number of charges in Wise County as well. He's due in court in Wise County on those charges of breaking and entering and larceny and gun charges coming up in July. A Washington County, Virginia nurse practitioner pleading guilty to a federal charge after being accused of illegally distributing narcotics. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Matthew Sykes admitted to conspiring with other healthcare providers and employees at Watauga Recovery Center to regularly prescribe controlled drugs without a legitimate medical purpose and outside the usual course of professional practice. Sykes had been under investigation while working at Watauga Recovery. He was terminated from that job last year. The Johnson County school system is getting new funding, and this is to help its students go to school after high school. The county is a low-income area, and the cost of ACT testing, college visits, and college application fees can add up quickly for students. And that's where the Gear Up Tennessee grant comes in. It's been awarded now to only 15 communities in the state. Johnson County being one of those. High school students say this money can change their lives, and students may have thought college was not a possibility. Now that is a possibility. They're receiving more than $600,000 in this grant. The University of Virginia changing its policies for people who want, and other groups that want to use their outdoor facilities on college property. This nearly 9 months after a white nationalist marched across campus wielding lit torches. The college says the new policies that took effect on Friday apply to anyone that wants to speak, make announcements, or distribute literature on campus. Unaffiliated people must make reservations to use certain locations on campus. Kingsport residents enduring a storm over the weekend and the aftermath, leaving behind significant damage. A $32 million project. We found out that storm caused extensive damage to the town park loft, which is bringing nearly 300 units to the downtown area. Construction crews saying that they're bringing inspectors in to assess the damage. No timetable on the impact of the project's completion date from that storm damage, but it was originally estimated to be finished in mid-2019. Well, let's find out if we have more storms in our forecast, at least for the immediate future. Meteorologist David Boyd in the Storm Track 5 Weather Center. David, kids headed off early this morning to school in a little while. A nice wait for the bus.
It is pleasant and calm weather at this hour. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s, mainly clear skies, some spots of fog. We'll see partly cloudy skies this afternoon. A few pop-up thunder showers, the chance of rain down to 40%. 76 for a high today, and temperatures still in the 70s this evening. We'll look ahead to the weekend forecast coming up.
Help News 5 get the facts right. If you see news happening, contact News 5 by phone or email.
It's 5:41 here this morning. New details surrounding the Waffle House shooting 2 weeks ago. Now learning about Nashville law enforcement response to that shooting. Emergency dispatchers initially sent crews to the wrong address. First responders were given the wrong address, the wrong Waffle House. Before they got the correct location, they were sent to an older Waffle House that was 11 miles away from the shooting scene. However, an expert says this type of mix-up is not that uncommon, especially in a chaotic time such as that shooting.
Is provided by police, ambulance, and fire are so critical. They were called, and time is of essence.
Officers were at the wrong location less than a minute, then they quickly moved on. First responders were on the scene of the correct shooting location in less than 4 minutes of that 911 call. Walmart is tightening its opioid prescription policies. It's a twofold plan that goes into effect over the next 60 days. The retail giant is limiting the length of such prescriptions and required that they be filled electronically. The new restrictions follow the recommendations from the CDC. A CDC study found that people who were prescribed at least 1 day of opioid therapy had a 6% chance of being addicted a year later. That rose to 13.5% if a patient was prescribed 8 or more days of opioid treatment. 5:42, David stepping in right now. The sun will be up in a little less than an hour from now, David. Let's talk about what we'll be dealing with outside.
Yeah, it's hard to believe sunrise now before 6:30. We're around 50 degrees first thing, up into the mid-50s, 8 o'clock. We're going to see a good deal of sunshine, a few more clouds this afternoon, and the highs in the mid-70s. But we're going to get warmer and warmer day by day right through Mother's Day weekend. I'll show you my full forecast, including the future radar after the break.
Storm Track 5 weather team, alerting you to severe weather danger.
Once again today, we're going to see a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Now, the coverage of the rain looks lower than yesterday, so severe threat tracker in the elevated alert level. Rain chance even lower for Wednesday. Then it ramps back up on Thursday. We're in the medium alert level, as we could see a few strong thunderstorms in the area. More on that in just a moment. Fairly quiet weather outside now, and most of the rain well down to our south and east and continuing to dissipate. Future radar for today showing quiet weather through midday and this afternoon. Just a few pop-up showers and storms dotting the landscape in just a few locations. Chance of rain for today around 40%. An isolated downpour, but many areas staying dry. Outside now 50 at the Tri-Cities Airport, so comfortably cool. Clear skies overhead right now. We'll see more clouds this afternoon and highs are in the 70s, low 70s, higher elevations around 75 to 77 in the Tri-Cities. Tonight, right back down the comfort zone in the low to middle 50s. Now here's the big picture. Watching in a small area of low pressure over South Carolina, but losing the instability from the daytime heat yesterday, so the showers continuing to fall apart. Weather pretty quiet across much of the eastern United States, but we're tracking our next weather maker near Minneapolis and Omaha. It's going to be pressing to the east today. Severe storms across Iowa. Tomorrow, across Illinois. In fact, there's a slight risk, or level 2 out of 5 risk for severe storms. This with the front, this will be marching to the east by Thursday. The risk of severe storms stretches from Buffalo all the way down into the Tri-Cities. This means a few isolated severe storms are possible. Here's the future track for today. A few pop-up thunder showers, not expecting anything severe. Tomorrow, the chance of rain down to 20%. A couple of pop-up showers, mainly in the higher elevations. A stray shower Wednesday night as that front gets a little bit closer. But jumping ahead to Thursday, as that front moves in, a good chance of rain and scattered storms Thursday afternoon. And some of the storms could have some downpours, some gusty winds, and potentially even some hail in spots. We'll continue to monitor that as we get closer. We're also going to be seeing a warming trend. Highs on Wednesday around 75 to 80, around 81 in the Tri-Cities on Thursday. Then by Friday around 80 to 86 degrees. So getting warmer and warmer all the way through Mother's Day weekend. Today will be in the mid-70s. A few pop-up thunder showers, light breeze out of the south. Tonight down to 52. Stray shower mainly in the evening. Your Storm Track 5 7-day forecast. Highs in the mid-80s. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That front on Thursday, it's not going to push through. It's actually just going to get close and then lift back to the north, but still be close enough for a few isolated afternoon thunder showers. So you may have to dodge a couple of raindrops at times this weekend, but certainly not an all-day rain. But getting a little bit more humid, and highs about 10 degrees above average for Mother's Day weekend.
A lot of rain chances on there, but it looks like a pretty good week ahead there. Nice 7 days.
Yeah, most of the time looking dry.
It's an exciting time here for News 5 as we have a new tool, another one, in the way that we can deliver the news to you.
That's right. And last summer, we unveiled our new storm tracker, which takes you to the weather all across the United States and across especially our viewing area in really bad conditions.
But now we have another part of our supply and how we can broadcast to you. News 5's Mike Lucas is introducing us to our new Sky 5 drone that is ready to take off.
Hey, good morning. This is UAS 7 Romeo November Romeo.
Tri-Cities, we are ready for takeoff. Let me introduce you to WCYB's latest news gathering tool, the Sky 5 drone.
So this is a DJI Inspire 2. It's one of the top-of-the-line models that DJI makes.
There's only so much we can see through our camera from the ground. But thanks to our new Sky 5 drone, there's nothing we can't see from 400 feet in the sky.
This gives us a new perspective, a new aerial view the bird's eye view, per se, of the Tri-Cities.
Sky 5 will take our coverage into the air.
That looks perfect.
Giving you a new perspective on everything in the Tri-Cities, from breaking news to the breathtaking views.
This is WCYB TV. We're going to be flying a UAV below 400 feet between now and approximately noon.
But before Sky 5 can take off, it has to be checked and rechecked by our team of certified pilots who have each completed 30 hours of training.
If any of these are damaged, it can disrupt the airflow and end up causing a crash.
Safety is our top priority, which is why we require 2 people to operate the aircraft.
I've got the aircraft.
You've got the aircraft.
One flies the drone while the other works the camera.
The pilot's able to maintain line of sight at all times on the drone. The camera operator is able to focus on shooting, and that way the pilot's not distracted by anything.
There are certain times and places that we cannot fly the drone.
So you want to fly over the circle, Ricky?
Yes, please.
But when Sky 5 is in the air, you'll be able to see things you won't find anywhere else.
We're the only news operation with a drone in the Tri-Cities, and allows us to broadcast live from events, parades, concerts, any big outdoor event, and give you perspective that no one else has.
In the skies of Johnson City, Mike Lucas, News 5 on Fox.
Of course, exciting to see what we can do with Sky 5 and where we'll be able to take that and the advantage that it gives us in the view as well.
And being able to broadcast live from it is also exciting.
That is exciting, and you'll be seeing a lot more of what we can see from Sky 5 coming up over the next weeks and months and even years here on News 5. We're back with more of News 5 today, 10 minutes in front of 6. Stay with us, back in just a moment. Racing at Bristol Motor Speedway, but not maybe what you're thinking. Students from 20 schools across Northeast Tennessee taking part in a kind of a cool challenge at BMS. Solar go-karts racing around the track. Teams have been working since last fall to build these, converting gasoline-powered go-karts into solar-powered go-karts. Students we talked with say this teaches them how to work together, plus they're also able to put skills that they've learned in the classroom into a real-world test.
I'm really excited because I've never been really down here in Bristol Motor Speedway, and we've been working on this go-kart for a while. It's taken a lot of work, so I'm glad to see it running.
Each of these schools received a grant from the Tennessee Department of Education last year, and then this year they got some additional funding to help make modifications to those go-karts, and you'll have more on who won and the teams that came out on top. Head to WCYB.com for the leaderboard there and find out which ones won. A couple different ones in different categories. Kind of a cool competition there. And a little bit of fun at BMS. Well, News 5 is teaming up with Food City for the Charity Challenge. 10 local charities competing for a donation as a part of Food City's 100-year celebration. Today, we're learning about United Way, Southwest Virginia. Good nutrition is an important part of a child's performance in school and, well, their overall development as well. But for more than half of Southwest Virginia children, they're at risk of going hungry. United Way has the Backpack Unites program, sending healthy food home for the weekend for children in our region. Students who take part in Backpacks Unite show improvement in attendance, test scores, behavior, and health. The program is one of United Way's Southwest Virginia's largest outreach efforts, assisting more than 1,000 students.
All of the investments that we have from our community, we reinvest those in initiatives that will improve health, education, and financial stability.
Southwest Virginia covers 13 counties, 2 cities in our region. You can view all of the charities on our website, WCYB.com, and you can vote for your favorite. And if that's United Way of Southwest Virginia, you'll find the way to vote for them there and the link on our website, WCYB.com. Let's talk about the drive into work this morning. The sun about to come up. Official sunrise a little more than 30 minutes away, David, and nice morning out there on the cameras.
Yeah, just seeing a few clouds overhead and a few spots of fog, locally dense around Harlan, Boone, and also Mountain Empire Airport. Visibility 6 miles, Tri-Cities Airport, but in general, looking pretty good this morning, around 50 to 55 early on, and then highs stay in the 70s. A couple of pop-up thunder showers, but chance of rain only 40%. We'll look down the road coming up.
Over the weekend, some heavy thunderstorms rolling through our region. Those same storms developing in central Virginia. Check out the cloud structure there on the storms. It was a microburst, hail, damaging winds there, shelf clouds there, a brief wall cloud at times over Campbell County, Virginia. The time-lapse video has clips of several cloud formations. You see just how intense those storms were in parts of the area. Some minor damage here in the Tri-Cities as well as the storms rolled through. But much better weather picture for today. David outlines that with some sunshine coming up in about 60 seconds.